This is Wednesday, the 18th of April, the year 2018, according to Pope Gregory. And we're here in front of the United Nations in New York City. And we're sitting here with a delegation. We're standing here at the end of the day now with a delegation from Bears Ears. Could you introduce yourself? What are you guys, and why are you doing here?
Quatsi, Kaitawa Halpa Diask, Dushin Mehaquake, Tits, the Shachanos, the Shachwashtis, the Alchemist, Snide, Sikomet Eka, Shachanos, Nice Dia, Body, Heatrani Eka, Shachano. Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine Filippi. I am from the Pueblo of Acoma. I am the youth delegate for the Bears Ears Prayer Run Alliance. I came here to share our story and be the voice for the people who can't be with us today. And we didn't get to speak today, but we're still standing strong, still standing tall, in hope that we will be heard eventually. Maybe not today, but well, actually today is the day. We're here to let our voice be heard, so I'll let my godmother introduce herself.
This is now the end of the day of the United Nations Permanent Forum Indigenous Issues. I think it's the 17th session. They do this now for, I think, 17 years, something like that. And I think it's like the third day of this year's event. What's your impression? What did we see here today? What happened here today? You were all in there all day long, right? Waiting to talk?
Well, my name is Regina Lopez White Skunk, and I'm a member of the Ute Mountain Ute tribe. I live in Toyac, Colorado, which is within about a couple hours of Bears Ears, of the Bears Ears area in southeastern Utah. And we brought forth an issue that has been extremely hard for many of us. Being a tribal leader who advocated and worked with the Obama administration, it was rather difficult to see the boundaries scaled back over 85% of what was initially proclaimed in the designation. And one of the reasons we're here is to raise awareness and ask the question of how the injustice connects to the human rights of Indigenous people. And as we're sitting here all day waiting so that we can speak our piece and let the world know and make sure that our voice is heard, apparently there are other forces working in the background. And I've known that this issue is a very high-profile issue in the world of Indigenous issues in the United States. And as many tribal leaders and grassroots organizations, we've definitely felt those challenges. And we would like the world to know that we as Indigenous people are tied to our land, not because of policies, it's because of our relationship with Mother Earth, the Creator, and what our ancestors have left behind for us to recognize and continue to practice. And so one of the gifts is life, water, air.
The right to life.
The right to exist.
Just to be alive.
Yes.
Well, Regina, one of the things that we do know is that in the documentation that we've seen related to the Bears Ears Coalition, the Intertribal Coalition that took the case forward, we saw in their language, in the legal defense, that they spoke of extra-constitutional dimensions in the legal fight. I think that's what you're doing here, no? Because the United Nations is not under the U.S. Constitution. It's human rights and international indigenous rights. That's not a constitutional fight. It's higher than that. So you want to say anything about that, Regina? Or
sure.
Sister?
I will just really quick, and then I'll let Beck say a little bit. The one thing that I think we've all learned here, sitting here for hours upon hours, is that yes, coming from the fight and initially our bid for protection and further use of the land as Indigenous people, one of the things here at this forum that has really caught my attention is the failure by our government to recognize and to have adopted the declaration, which ensures those basic human rights to Indigenous people. And it's very controversial in terms of the statement that our U.S. representative made here in the permanent forum in making it look as though consultation was done, when in fact, when it came to prior consent to the change of the boundaries, there was no consultation. There was nothing.
No consultation, much less consent. And those are two separate things. Consultation is one thing, consent is totally different.
And that's exactly, neither one was there. Neither was put on the table.
You could say that the U.S. government lied here today at the United Nations. More than once.
Not just once.
More than once.
They did.
To the whole world, once again.
Yes, they did.
All right, sister. You're up.
Kawati say hopa at Ijimai Jami Hano, Shiwi Hano, Gawai Hano. My name is Beck Tutchin. I'm from the Pueblo Laguna, New Mexico. And what I've gained from this whole process, it is a learning process. This is our first time here. What has happened here, although we did not get to speak, or Jasmine didn't get to speak on our behalf, it was echoed through all the other countries, the urgency to protect Mother Earth.
Right.
And
every single
one of them. And that validated, you know, the fight. And to hear that, it made me cry, because it's all over the world. And it's just not us. And some of the stories we also heard made me appreciate where I come from. It made me appreciate that the state of New Mexico supports their indigenous people. We complain about our tribal governments, but some of these countries have bigger problems than we do. Our focus here is, you know, to continue to go to the Bears' Ears and continue the ancestral running that we have instilled in us. Our people would run to send messages and run in prayer, and we will continue to pray and continue to run.
Well, we want to come back here to Jasmine, because Jasmine, we know they didn't give you a chance to speak on the floor, but you had your statement fully prepared, all written up, and you're going to submit the statement, right? It's going to be submitted anyways. It's an official statement of the UN Permanent Forum. It just didn't get read on the floor. But you're going to submit the statement. What is the statement? What's the main points in the statement?
The main points? The main point is our Mother Earth is not a commodity.
Right.
Other main points are to utilize the land to connect back to who we are as indigenous people, and just to continue to fight, to be seen, to be heard.
Well, you guys did the run, no?
Yes.
We were part of that run, right? We heard about it. We couldn't catch up with you guys, but everybody was inspired by the run, and then we saw that you guys pulled it off. And then we heard more of the story today when you came in, and you kind of shared more that I hadn't known about how the ancient ancestral confederacies of way time before, no?
Yes.
Those stories also started to come out here, so that was very empowering for a lot of people. I felt myself it was very powerful. So we want to say thank you to you ladies, to the young generation people too that are coming up to pick this fight up, and we'll take it from here. It doesn't end here, it just starts again. And as we say, the prayer goes on, and we keep fighting for Mother Earth, the territorial integrity of Mother Earth, and the well-being of future generations. This is Tupac Reyes Coyle speaking with the Bears' Ears defenders here in front of the United Nations, the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, year 2018. Ayo.